everybody, happy Monday. It's Monday afternoon, most likely, just after 3 o'clock Melbourne time. However, we have been flying across the country to the west, and today I'm coming to you from Perth in Western Australia, where it's only just after 1 o'clock. So we have had a busy early morning and early start. We got all the way across. We were allowed to check in earlier, as well as set up our training room for the seminar here tomorrow. We went to a supermarket. We bought all of our meals. We got all organized with Stuart, and I managed to redo myself, and I'm ready for this live a little bit later in the Monday. So if you're catching this on recording, hello, give me a hi if you're watching it live. And I'm going to go through just some tools that I find super useful in my business and life, to use them to keep me on track and have everything at my fingertips when it comes to the phone, because literally nowadays we can run our businesses from the phone. We can pretty much run our lives. Often when I do go on holidays, I'm pretty much operating everything from my phone because I can't be bothered taking the laptop out. Of course, if I want to do extended periods of work, I do grab the laptop out because I am faster on it. However, I want to share some of these apps that keep me on track in different areas. So, okay, so let's get started. All right, so they're no particular order, like most favorite to least favorite. They're just the things that I use quite a lot. There's obviously more than 10, but these are the 10 that I kind of keep going back and forward to. So the top of my list is the 7-minute workout. So I'll see if I can get them up so you can see the little icon on them on my phone. It's kind of this little green one here. Oops, it's this one over here. It's a 7-minute workout. And I have been using this app now for 4 years straight. And whenever I don't have my PT sessions or I'm on the road, to fit in an intense, sort of short burst workout, I followed a 7-minute workout. And I have been able to be consistent for 4 years in doing 4 workouts every week. So not every week is 4 7-minute workouts. Usually I have 2 PT sessions, and I'll do 2 of the others. And of course, any other exercise that happens all around that, like going skiing or swimming. When we were in Thailand, we were swimming a lot. But the 7-minute workout for me has been something that started off, oh my God, I'm going to die, to something that, will get my heart rate up, get me prepared for the day. It's kind of part of my habit, especially, if I have events on, it's just the things that I need to do. It's the meditation, the burst of exercise, getting ready, and just really getting that head together for being in the space where I'm around a lot of people. So that's been one thing that's been go-to for me for 4 years, and I just absolutely love it. It starts off, when you start doing it, it feels super hard, and it's like, oh my God, I'm going to die. But as you get used to it, you become, you have more stamina, and you're able to keep up with it all, and you know where to set up, and you kind of know what's coming, and you can mix things up with it. All right, the next app that I love using, and kind of these go hand in hand, so I'm just going to mention both. One is called WordSwag, and the other one is Canva. So WordSwag is available, I believe, only on Apple devices, but there would be something similar for Androids, and I believe Canva can be used in the same way. But WordSwag for me is kind of something really quick. If I want to put a caption over a photo, do something very, very quick with it, I use WordSwag, where I can plug in a photo, put a caption on it, like I did this morning when we were coming across from Perth. And Canva is a little bit more, it has more graphic design capabilities where you can go into a lot more detail. You can use it on your computer as well as on your phone. And this is the thing, I actually think is a lot easier and user-friendly on the computer, because it's kind of, you got to know what buttons to press on the phone, and because it does have a lot more options, can get a little bit confusing on the phone. But if you've already started a project and you just want to touch up something on it, on the phone is just fine. So a lot of my authors sometimes have done like, you know, mock-up covers, like, you know, oh, this is what I want for my book cover, and done it in Canva and then submitted it, and then we can make a professional one. But I've loved creating flyers and Facebook social media promotional posts with Canva, just you know, to make everything look super professional. The beauty of it is you keep all of your projects, and you can go back to them, adjust them if you need to, and actually can become kind of your graphic design library of what your business is, and you can keep that consistent look, and you can do different quick things that you need, so you don't wait around for a designer to create it for you from scratch, going back and forward. You're kind of managing that process yourself. It's not hard to do. You can upload your own photos, and I really highly recommend. By the way, everything that I'm sharing with you guys is free. It's not actually a paid app or a paid tool to use. So there is paid versions within these apps and resources, but what I'm sharing with you, everything is a free resource or something that you can use. Like the 7-minute workout is free, WordSwag's free, Canva's free, but you can upgrade to others, to the paid versions, which I have never actually needed to. All right, the next one is Alarmed. Now this one, some of you guys may already use some kind of like a reminder feature on your phone, and you can set your own little bell rings or whatever. But Alarmed for me is, and it's again another green app that I use, and I track things that I need to be sort of, it's this little finger, you know, like tied up little pointer finger. It's green. So what I do here is sometimes I have clients who want to pay me via direct deposits, via say a direct debit system, like an automated system like EasyPay. And because a lot of people that work in that I work with in my business are on direct deposits, or they have payment plans and all that kind of stuff, I set up reminders for myself to make a check-in with my bank to see that that payment has come through on the specific date. If not, it alarms me in time, so that I don't let payments ever go too much overdue, and that way I can just touch base with the client and say, hey, your payment was due on the 12th. You know, today is the 14th, 15th. I haven't seen it come through. And you can actually set up how many repetitions you need of something, what day of the month. You can make notes in there. Like, you can make it quite specific in the terms of details you can put for yourself. And I don't just use it to track payments that I cannot control over, say like EasyPay, but I use it for different things. If I want to be reminded for something in my personal life, if I want to be reminded about something, you know, that's coming up that I just needed to sort of pop up at the time, and so in that way. But the best use I have found for it is to make sure that we are getting paid on time, as sometimes putting the power into your clients' hands. As much as people have good intentions, some of them will become irregular and not pay on time. And if you haven't put it on time, you can cause yourself quite a lot of trouble financially and with your cash flow situation. So Alarmed is the app that I use to be able to track all that, and also as any other reminder that I need. All right, the next one is, well, it would probably apply to anything, but I love having the currency converter on my phone, and the one that I use is XE. It's again a free tool, and I can pop in US dollars and figure out what's that in Australian dollars. I can pop in Thai baht. I can put in dirhams. I can put all sorts of currencies, because I am working with many people from all over the world, and I need to figure out, you know, convert currencies all of the time. So using that app also makes it really, really easy, and you can choose the different ones when you're traveling for holidays and all that sort of stuff. So XC Currency Converter is the next one, and that's a really, I love all the banking and accounting apps. Like Xero's got an accounting app. I can reconcile my payments while I'm sort of just out and about. I can raise invoices, obviously check all the banking. I can transfer stuff to people. People can transfer stuff to me. I've recently learned of a system called OSCO, O-S-K-O, and that's a system where you can set up like your pay ID, which means you don't have to remember your BSB and account number, just like maybe your phone number can end up being your pay ID. And if those people who have been set up with that same thing, the payments can go across immediately, like kind of on the spot payments, rather than waiting for 2 days to clear if it's not the same bank. So that's one that I have recently discovered. Obviously this is relevant to Australia. Hey, my US gorgeous clients and authors, Bridget and Lillian, just come online. Okay, so that's the one. The next one is Slack, S-L-A-C-K. Well, this kind of started off more as a team communication platform on the internet, but then of course I realized you can get the app on your phone as well, so that if you don't have your laptop on, you can get your notifications on Slack on your phone, and you can easily just manage it through your phone. And it's really great, you know, when I land somewhere and I need to see what's been going on in the business, not open my laptop. So it does also have an app almost that goes on your, you can put it on your dashboard of your computer, Slack, and this is utilized so we can communicate between myself and Stuart, Viv, my mom, Lendi, my virtual assistant, and recently we've also put our printers, our editors and layout people on it, so that we are managing the workplace within one area, so that if anything happens, so there's different rooms in Slack. You can set up the accounting room, you can set up the postage room, you can set up the printing room, you can set up the fun room, you can set up, and then different people will be able to hang out in each of the rooms depending if it's relevant to them. So in terms of accounting, because my mum does my bookkeeping, it's really only mum and I in that particular room. As I'm the admin, I'm present in all of the rooms, but the people who are sharing space in the room will only see the ones that they're obviously part of, and therefore they can get notified if anything happens or they need to tell us something in there. And it's also obviously really great because it archives and keeps your communication in the files you have sent in the past, so you can actually search for something that happened 2-3 weeks ago by putting in some keywords that you would have used back then. It'll bring up that conversation. You'll be easily able to find it. So it's a lot easier. If you do have a team, move them away from Facebook Messenger, because that's what we used to use in the past, and get on Slack and start using that. You can get it on your phone, in your computer, and set up the different rooms and allocate who's where, right? All right, the next one is, and this is of course also a tool between computer and phone, and that is of course the Dropbox app. Now Dropbox is not news, but I just love the fact that you can have Dropbox on your phone, because I know where all my folders and how everything is organized. So if I'm on the go and an author of mine or a client of mine wants me to send them a file, they've lost the chapter unpack template or whatever it is, they're looking for a specific thing, I can just jump on my phone, get the link that's directly linked to that file, and just send them that, and off they go. They can download it like literally within seconds. So this is why it's also really good if you've got your filing system on your phone sorted out really, really well, to be able to find things like that so quickly. Even on my YouTube channel, everything is super well organized. So if someone wants an answer to a question and I know I have a video somewhere in my filing cabinet of my brain, I know exactly where to find it, and I'll send that link and off it goes. Saves so much time. So sort out your filing, because it will be a lifesaver. And don't keep irrelevant stuff. Keep decluttering your computers and your apps as well, and things, electronic stuff, electronic clutter can become really overwhelming. Make sure you're decluttering your emails, like inbox zero. You guys know I'm big on that. You know, your apps, have a look at what's on your phone that you don't need. I actually categorize mine. So when I look at my phone, if I was to show you my phone, it looks like, oh my God. But actually there's only one page of apps. There's no second pages or whatever. And I have categories. So I've got travel, I have shop, I have social, I have speaking, I have productivity, banking, accounting, business, health, read, listen, watch, apps and all that kind of stuff. So they're all like this, you know, 7 or 8 underneath each thing, but they're categorized. So again, a filing system, so that I can, I don't need to scroll through 6 pages of apps to find something that I need. So that's really, really important for me, and that's how I've done it all the way across, and it saves me so much time. If I ever cannot find an app, like, because there's so many underneath, say there's 9 within one subcategory, and they're so much smaller than they are when they're a proper app, on the iPhone 10s, you can just slide your screen down, and you can start typing in the app. So say if I was looking for music, I put MU, and there's the music app has come up. So in case you are using an iPhone and you don't know of that feature, it's really handy, because then you're not like searching like for 5 minutes looking for an app that you cannot locate on your phone. Okay, a couple more here. I've got Uber and Uber Eats. Hey, Kami. Great to see you. I'm here in Perth. You know, we're having the event here tomorrow. If you're around, come past and say hi. So Uber and Uber Eats, all right? So it's so handy. Like when we arrived in Perth today, we were considering hiring a car, because we needed to go to a supermarket, get some food and all this sort of stuff, because we're still on that detox, guys. It's day 15 today. We've got 8 more days, so we've got a specific eating plan that we've got to do. And we're kind of thinking, do we get a hire car? Do we not get a hire car? You know, and in the end, like literally when we come to Perth, we catch an Uber to our hotel. We're busy like for the 48 hours, you know, doing stuff, doing our events, and we then catch the Uber back on Wednesday morning to fly across to Adelaide. And I said, really, do we need a hire car for, you know, I know we need to go to Coles or whatever, and we've Googled, and to Coles was only 2 kilometers away. So I said, no, are we going to get Uber? And then we're going to walk to Coles just so we can get our legs after a 4-hour flight moving and get a bit of exercise in, and then we can catch an Uber back with our shopping bags and then Uber back to the airport. Well, that decision literally was $23 trip to the hotel here, a $7 trip back from Coles to the hotel, and it'll be probably $25 to get us back to the airport. $55 for all of our transportation needs using Uber, versus $200 that was going to be the hire car decision. So love it. I always see what things are, look up prices from where to where you will need to go. So that's really handy. And of course, Uber Eats is the brother or sister app to Uber, whereby the local restaurants or people who make food in the area will deliver it for you for a $5 charge on top of whatever the food costs. So if you are like us, in a hotel for a couple of days and you don't want to eat at the restaurant downstairs, or you want to order something quite specific, Uber Eats is a wonderful way of picking and choosing your foods, and in about 30 or 40 minutes they get delivered fresh. And you get to have it, and you don't have to freak out, and you can time when things arrive. So when we do events, you know, and we actually run quite over lunchtime, so it's like, oh my God, the first time we're going to get a chance to eat is 2:30, so we can pre-order it, say deliver by 2:30 at 2:30, and then as soon as we finish, we're not then waiting another 40 minutes for the food. So that's another feature that I love using. So this is all about pre-thinking, pre-organizing, guys, and getting things sorted so that you don't miss out on your meals, you don't miss out on where you need to go, how you need to go, and everything just clicks on it. It's so handy. We're just like literally while we're standing there waiting for our bags, we're ordering our Uber. As soon as we see our bags, the Uber's ordered, we come outside. I mean, it's faster than bloody catching a taxi and waiting for a taxi at a taxi rank. Yes, Bridget used it when she was in Melbourne. Bridget, well, they come from the US, so that's where it originated from. So you should be using it back home as well. if you need to, because you obviously would have a car back home. But we use it pretty much in every city that we go to, that we don't end up getting a hire car, and it's quite significantly a lot cheaper than getting cabs everywhere and all that. The last one that I wanted to talk about today. Oh, you're welcome, Lillian. I'm glad you are finding this useful. There's lots of tips here on how we live life on the road. I guess these apps do keep us on track. Genius Scan is my last one on my list. Now, Genius Scan is something an author of mine. It's this orange one here, right down here. So an author of mine years ago said, look, that I was sending them the photo of their agreement, for their records and all that sort of stuff. And they said, can you send it scan? I go, I don't actually have a scanner. You know that there's apps that scan stuff. And I said, what's this? Well, I've never heard of it. So she introduced me to Genius Scan, and basically you kind of put your phone on and you set up the page that you want to scan, and you click on it, and then it saves all the time when you have wine. Love it, Bridget. So then you stand over your page, you click it like as if you're taking a photo, but the actual app converts the image that you've taken into like a scan-like version, and you can sort of crop it on the edges. So it's nice and neat, and you can go 4 pages in a row and then save it, this person's agreement, and then you can click the forward email. You can email it, hey, here's your agreement for your records. So you're on the road. You don't have an access to a scanner or anything like that. And I use Genius Scan for my own personal stuff, and it stores all my agreements anyway here. So if I ever did get a signed agreement for someone, because sometimes agreements occur through email where people agree through an email, and other times it happens because they signed it on the spot, so you want to give them a scanned version of that. But I named them with the person's first and last name and then agreement, and if I ever needed to track back something that I got or don't have as an email agreement, then I've got it, I know, in Genius Scan. Also, Genius Scan has a paid version to itself. Again, as I said, none of this do I use any paid versions of. Of course, Dropbox is the one thing that, yes, you pay $150 or whatever dollars a year. But aside from that, everything else that I just said, where did I put my list? Oh, here it is. Uber's free, Uber Eats is free, Slack is free, the currency converter, Alarmed, WordSwag, Canva, and 7-Minute Workout. All of those apps are free to use, and so you're able to manage and organize your life and think in advance. Oh, one that we used this morning that so when Uber is not around your area, so in our area in Melbourne, Diamond Creek, there's not many Uber cars because we're not see, the advantage of Uber, it's amazing, but generally in a lot of, say, suburbs that are not in the main area of the city, there may not be many Uber drivers at specific times. So this morning when we needed to catch transport to the airport at 5:30 a.m., there is no Uber in Diamond Creek, right? So there is this other app called Rydo, R-Y-D-O, and we set up an account, and Stuart literally on Saturday, he went in there and he pre-booked a car for 5:30 a.m. so that we can get picked up, and those come on time. They're the same as the taxi rates, but they're easy to book, and you don't also need to pay them like right there in the car. If your credit card is with them, then that just gets processed and then give you a receipt. So this morning going to the airport, we used Rydo, as Uber doesn't exist in our area at that time of the morning, and I wouldn't want to risk it because you don't want to risk your trip to the airport at 5:30 and not many people are around. So that's what I used instead. But as soon as we arrive into airports of cities, or even when we get home, for example, if we get home later, like if we get home by a 7 or 8 o'clock flight, my mum and the kids come and get us. But if we get on a flight that gets home at like 10 p.m., immediately we're on the Uber and we get home with it, because there's always Uber drivers at airports and all that sort of stuff. So I hope that this has all been useful, valuable to you guys. Look up some of those apps, what sounds good to you, what would be handy. I'm just having a look here if there is anything else. For you female people, there is an app that I've been using for absolutely ages, 8 years, more, 9 years since I ever got a phone with apps. It's called Period Log, and it logs all your, cycles and all that kind of stuff, and I use that all the time. It's very interesting. Like, it keeps all your historical information, and it prompts you, oh, there's 3 days till your period. It's like, that's why I'm feeling this way, or whatever it is. So that's one that I've used a lot. One Giant Mind, as in the number 1, Giant Mind. It's a good little tutorial 30-day challenge, first 12 days, then 30-day challenge for meditation. And I do that now and again. I did it so consistently for a long period of time, but now I just want to swap it up. So I do use different things for meditation. But if ever one wants something like just with a timer and just zone out, I'll go back to One Giant Mind for the meditation stuff. Of course, Netflix and Stan for some entertainment as you want to doze off to sleep or want to switch the brain off, go and watch some crazy stupid shows to dumb down the brain. Of course, Skype and Viber, WhatsApp, those kind of things for communication and contacting people overseas, some of the things. Oh, and lately, the last one I'm going to finish off on is Airtasker. So it's this little blue app with the wing, Airtasker. So I used it actually the last 2 weeks. I got a plumber out. I got an electrician out. I got a guy to fix our sliding doors. I got someone to come in and clean, sugar soap my internal walls of the house because I wanted to refresh it. We're in like spring cleaning and touch up mode. Literally these guys or people, and it's not guys, it's a mixture of people, can come out at a short notice. Like we had something on Saturday, one plumber, long story, didn't turn up, left our kitchen sink open, and we didn't have like water, and it's like me and Stu were trying to put it back together for 3 hours unsuccessfully. And I said, that's it, I'm posting a job on Airtasker, because if you call like a plumber an emergency, of course you're going to get charged a weekend rate. Put it on Airtasker, what I would pay, happy to pay for extra parts or whatever it is. The guy came 10 a.m. the next morning, fixed our 3 taps, fixed everything. He was absolutely amazing, and did it on a Sunday. And then we left and everything was kind of fixed. And the people who do jobs through Airtasker, of course, they want to get great reviews. You're protected by that app. And so far, the people want to get on with it, come over, get it sorted, and it's all done. It's not waiting around and this and that. So I've loved using that. And all of those little annoying little jobs at home that have been bothering us for the last 2 or 3 years, I can't believe I left them for that long. We got fixed in like 7 to 10 days before we came out. So everything is spring cleaned, and the last thing we're going to do is the landscaping when we come back home next week. That's all happening in our front yard, and then we're ready for the summer season. So that's something that I use and have used many times before to quickly find someone that can do a job and just get on with things, because I like to do things fast, as you guys know. All right, so yeah, as I said, hopefully this is giving you some ideas, some new things that you haven't heard of before, and you can go and action them, download them, and give them a go. They work really, really well. For any questions, just post them up. I hope you are having a wonderful week. Wish us luck over in the West. Let's do it. We're going to find our next lot of Perth and Adelaide authors from this round of events. I can't wait to meet all of the excited new people tomorrow. Mwah. See you guys. Have a great week. Bye.